What's going on, tribe? Something I want to share with y'all. It's a little bit of story time. I never shared this story before, but to show you that people will take your kindness as a weakness and at the same time use your gifts and abilities for their personal gain. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. Now, mind you, I was with my job at the time for 5 years, right? And while I was there, I revolutionized that company immensely with my inventions that I created. Low key, I never signed no disclosure. I never signed anything that said I can't speak on this. Listen, now I acknowledge to them that if I create an idea and I create an idea that's gonna help change the company, will I get a raise? Yeah, went to supervisor, went to manager. They say, yeah, I'm gonna run it up. You come up with the idea, we're gonna give you a raise. $1 raise, right? It's a lot added on to what I had. And I think at the time I was getting what, $18 an hour, something like that. This was 5 years ago, more than 5 years ago. Now, just out, no, it was more than 5 years ago. I was working with the company 5 years. Now, mind you, at the time, you know, when you start working at the glass company that I worked at, is the reason why you got Mr. Glass.
They called me Mr.
Now, for those of my followers who follow me know, back in 2013, I was the first one to do the freestyle. I think it's maybe 5 minute freestyle. Talk about purple. Everything purple. It's on SoundCloud. Now, Mr. Glass, as I explained to you on my story time and break it down, that Mr. Glass identify with somebody who is the broken one. Deviate me, because you understand what I've been through, what I live, and the stories that I explained to you, just a tip of the iceberg of what I experienced. And being the broken one of what I experienced, what I've been through, trials and tribulations, that in the spiritual realm and spiritual beings, seen and unseen, terrestrial and extraterrestrial, I have ties and covenants with. We don't say contract, we just connected hip to hip. We represent a new order, a new world. Understand this. When it says the broken one, the movie, Mr. Glass, and the number 23, remember, Split. The movie Split was dealing with 23 personalities, because 23 is the number that's also connected to me, because 1 is I'm in being the hidden one. Naturally, 1 being hidden, 2 and 3 is the mathematical equation to my number, my birth number, as well as another thing. You got to get everything away. But listen, I created the idea that'll help people find what they're looking for a lot faster. Because normally you have to find the measurement, the weight, the name, the brand. I said, hey, let's come up with an idea. Place a lightning bolt on the glass that's going out tonight. We created a lightning bolt. It was made it easier and faster for those who's looking for the glass to be able to be shipped out. Now, mind you, man, that helped us immensely, a lot faster. The company was decided. It was like, okay, yeah, let's create that idea. They gave me that $1 raise. I said, okay, I'm gonna create another idea. If I create this idea, will I get a raise? They say, sure. So I created a vision board. Now, mind you, normally, whenever you get the glass, now mind you, we carrying glass over 300 pounds. And at the time, it's just two people working on the offload, carrying the glass. We had to carry it, we protect it, hot, and place it in a groove, a slot, weighing over 200, 300 something pounds. Of course, me having a lot of anger within me, I was able to carry it at times 110, 120 by myself, long, and lift it up, carry it, and bring it all the way down myself. They'd be amazed, but you'd be amazed at what you could do when you're angry. But I did that. And it was a lot of work because sometimes you got a time limit, so we got to rip and run. But we have to know and remember where the glass go. So I created a vision board. The vision board that you look at when you come in, you write on which side the glass is gonna go. I had west side, east side. On the vision board, I created a W and an E. This side is where the glass is gonna go because it's all numbered. It helped us to find where the glass is going a lot faster versus grabbing a label, holding the glass in your hand and trying to figure out and being that I was like a lead and I had to teach these new guys a lot of glass is falling off the table and we had to clean that up. So the vision board helped first shift, second shift, and a lot of other shifts get the glass going. Got a raise then. I did get a raise. Ain't no supposed to, I got a raise. But here's where things started to go downhill. Because I told them if I come up with an idea, spoke to these heads, spoke to the head. I said, man, I ain't gonna say no names, but I spoke to him. I said, man, if I come up with an idea, he said, man, D, man. I said, yeah. This is what management said. It's manager. I said, yeah, man, I got another idea, man, I'm telling you. Now, mind you, I think they got like 4 or 5 companies. Well, one does, it has a ripple effect on all of them. So I said, yo, at the time, there was a serious incident that happened in our company where the glass fell on somebody. And this person was crushed. 300 pounds, glass fell on him. And it ended up jeopardizing the company as well as heads that was in the company. And they was perturbed because they need to find a solution to a safety. So I told them, I said, yo, let's create, at the time we done had this. I said, let's create a safety guy to be able to go around the company to monitor and watch for safety issues. He said, you know what? Let me run that up. Man, listen, don't you know that later on, I should say a week and a half later, they came up with the idea of having a safety guy. He wore a blue hat and started walking around the compound, walking around the company, monitoring for safety issues. I supposed to got a raise on that. They didn't give me a raise. One thing that I learned that whenever you put yourself out there and when it's dealing with business, it's got to be contractual. You got to make sure people stand on it. Like I say, people will take your gifts and use it for their benefits. Now, to find out, I spoke to another person. He was a supervisor. And I gave him so much information, thinking it's going to source. And at the point where the last idea that he said, well, yeah, you know, I ran into him. He said, okay, he gonna think about it. He already, what you mean think about it? He said, yeah, okay, D, we gonna, he say, I'm gonna get back. He kept spinning me. Every time I see him, he kept spinning me. So I start to get mad regarding this, because don't nobody like to be shitted on. Let's keep it hot. To be treated like you gonna take my idea and not acknowledge it. So this is how the ancient was working. Now mind you, man, this has been going on for like 4 months. He kept spinning me for 4 months. Now, whenever I get angry and I get mad and I don't use my gifts and my abilities to harm or hurt someone, it always come back on me whenever I do it. That's why I don't do it. The ancients will take care of it. Don't you know what end up happening to that person, management, who's supposed to have been noble and honorable and gave me my raise, who defecated on me? He ended up having a issue, ended up going to the hospital, was sickly, was on deathbed, like this here, on deathbed. Came back with a whole condition that was deadly for his health. I asked the ancient ones to show him favor to give healing through his body. He started to get better real quick. Came back to work, found out it was the issue. I ain't gonna put that business out there, but it's important that you understand the story that's being said. Seeing me often, then finally, he started to realize that I wasn't receptive to communication. That I started to be a little bit nonchalant. Wasn't as bubbly, and breathing on him, talking to him like that. Finally, called me in the office and told me, yeah, then I'm gonna give you a raise and whoop-de-whoop. And then hold up. I forgot to tell you. Now, mind you, when I realized that I'm helping the company and they're elevating, and the person who was a supervisor that I was telling some of this shit to ended up becoming manager. To find out, they called me in the office. I'm like, yo, I need to, now this man, he was corporate. Now this man was the manager. And then this I show you how the information is given, that they giving it to the other companies, that the one who became, there was manager and assistant manager, right? The one that was a manager ended up becoming corporate. And the one was assistant ended up becoming manager. And the supervisor was a supervisor, ended up becoming management. All because the information that was given. So they finally called me in the office. Managers and corporate, right? And I tell him, I said, well, are you aware that I came up with this idea at the time when we had this meeting and you was frustrated on how we gonna deal with the safety issues? And I told you, I don't know if you're aware, but I came up with the safety guy idea. He was like, oh no, DaRon, I didn't know that. I said, are you aware that the lightning bolt that we have on all the labels for the glasses going out morning, evening, night, and for the glasses going out, I should say for that day, I created that lightning bolt? He said, oh no, DaRon, I didn't know that. He looking at them. I look at them. Find out they never told him. I said, are you aware that I came up with the idea for the colored green stickers for the glasses in that section that's supposed to go out for the night? Long story short, story long, I came up with 4 ideas. So he spun off, he said, man, DaRon, I didn't know that. And he said, I'm sorry, I used to have a habit of wearing my little earpieces while I'm working. But yeah, it kept me moving and grooving. He was like, well, to spin off on it, he's like, let us monitor you for like 6 months and see if we can, because you always be on your phone a lot. I have been, and see if we could, limit what you're used to having the earplugs in your ear to safety issue. I see no safety issue, but okay. 6 months came by, they didn't do what they supposed to. 8 months came by. Listen, let's just say they were spinning me and I got fed up. To find out when he finally called me in the office and gave me a raise, guess how much he only gave me? A 25-cent raise. Because within 1 year, I had received within 1 year, I had 2 raises within 1 year. And I came up with like 4 or 5 different ideas to elevate the company, made them elevate up, because when the idea go to one, it trickled to the other one, and it helped him with mass productions. This is how it is. And it's important that you understand that when you allow the gods and the Most High, whatever source you want to call it, to fight for you, trust. They gonna fight for you. They could sense management, supervisors, people could sense that you're perturbed. They can sense something's not right with you, and they know the energy and vibration is given. They know when they effed up, and you know when you F up. So management came through, right? Now mind you, he came through just to be impulsivity, and I'm knowing it. And he pissed me the wrong way. He pissed me off the wrong way. And it was what he said. This is, listen, this is like this corporate big whip, whatever, whoop-de-whoop. Man, I was so mad when I gave him that look. You know, you give people a certain type of look that they say it could be an evil eye because of the energy. That's the kind of look that I kind of gave him. He got it. He turned around and he kept pushing. The next day I came to work, and no sooner that I pulled up, may the God's curtains fall out. No sooner I pulled up, they say it was a big explosion, a big boom inside the company. Everybody came out. It was like everybody was sent out a big old explosion to find out the engine blew up on the inside. He said, yo, you just pulled up. He said, man, the company, they say it was an explosion. The engine blew, and it sounded like it was an explosion. When I walked in, guess who was right there at the machine? When I walked in, the same individual who was using impulsivity, was being a little bit impulsive with his authority. And I gave him that look. Yeah, gave him the look and told him telepathically, you know what it is. And he looked at me and he turned back around, right? Later on, he tried to come back around and be cordial with me. I wasn't trying to hear it. It's imperative that we understand something. Tribe. You have people who will try to use your gifts and abilities and try to shit on the person who elevated them. The same thing applies. When you place a person in a position of power, there was a time in which I nominated someone to be my queen and told all those within the entertainment, told those who was initiated way of the ancient ones to listen to her, to follow her. She your queen. And what ultimately end up happening for all those who was elevated, not once look back at their divine leader from the gods through the gods who sent forth that energy through the universe to help elevate. It's important that you understand that insubordination in many areas is subject to penalties about insubordination. You know when you do wrong, you know it. Just like you know when your kids done wrong. They look, they gestures, their head go down. Yeah, you have to be careful the people you have in your circle. Because there's those who just use your energy. They do a good talk. They talk a good talk. They bark a good bark. They don't got no bite. They don't follow the things that they say. They talk it, but the only thing they really want is your energy. My energy. That ain't happening. Yeah, that's not happening. So if you find out you blocked and it stopped, and you don't have access no more, it's because what Scarface say, they effed up and they got away. Yeah, you effed up and I done got away. And when I do that, I ain't got to do nothing else because the roots is connected to sources seen and unseen, powerful sources seen and unseen, jinns connected, spiritual families connected, beings from different planets connected, beings on this planet connected, source connected. I drive slow, I fly low, I be humble. But when my tribe is moving unaccordingly, you have to be dealt with from the gods through the gods. And verbally admonishment, and I'll let the divine deal with the rest. So be careful of what you say you're going to do when you don't do it, because there's consequence and repercussion. When you run through a red light after you know how you're supposed to drive and you keep going, there's a collision that's going to come. You see? Be sure that you be mindful of the people that you bring and you have around you and in your energy. You see it often in the world, around the world. You hear it on the news. Yeah, it's okay to be alone, but it's not meant for you to be alone. Your tribe attracts your tribe, but even those that's in your tribe will. One bad apple can spoil a whole bunch. You see? Now, if you're looking for a job, you're going to go look for that job. You're going to go out. You're going to seek. You're going to find. If you ain't knocking, if it ain't no action in the 3 letters in act, if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, don't expect anything from source. My energy is not given to you. You cut off. I am very powerful what I'm able to do. My energy is only meant to help this planet, to heal this planet, to help unite those seen and unseen, to reconnect to them old ways. A new way, a new order from the gods through the gods. Act right. Get shipped to the left.
This is called 2-part car. See? The fiberboard and cardboard we placed at the bottom as well as up top. At this part, in this part, we'll have the fiberboard and cardboard up top, but we also could place the rope here as well. So if need be, when we need to tie the carts down, when the rope breaks, instead of walking over there to get the rope, we can have it already up here. So on one side, one employee could be using the corks to place them right here. And on the opposite side, we can have the corks roll. No safety issue, none whatsoever. And 2 people or 1 person can fill this up with the cardboard down and placing the fiberboard and cardboard in there and sliding it in. 2-part cart or 3-part with the rope here.